Hey everybody, this video is going to just cover how the Moodle shell is laid out. How do I navigate Moodle? Where am I looking for things? I will go into more depth on each of these topics in other videos, but for now, how do I navigate Moodle? Where are things at? So we're going to start with the homepage. Here's your Moodle shell for CAS 242. On this page, you're going to find important course overview information, the course syllabus and timeline, the announcements forum, questions forum, and a Moodle 101 tutorial. So if I scroll down, that's right here, right? That's what I'm seeing. So if I scroll down, that's what I'm going to find. So here's a welcome video. Be sure to watch that. It just says hello. It's just a minute or two long. So this here below that video is what we call a Moodle book. So the book is called Course Description and Syllabus, and then there are chapters within each of the books. So in each of these books. So in this book in particular, there's a course description chapter, a navigating Moodle chapter, which is where this video is. So if you found that, good job. There's course objectives and textbook information. Here's the syllabus and course timeline. So these are all just important. So anyway, these are chapters within the Moodle book, and you'll find that in this course. That's how all of our content is organized. So I'll show you another page in the course to show you what it looks like. Then you have the announcements form on this page. You're going to want to pay attention to that because you are responsible for, this is the main form of communication in the class. So this is where I will post announcements about what we're doing, where we're going. And then questions forum, this is where you get to go and raise your hand and ask questions about course content or assignments or where we're at. So please, use this questions forum. And then lastly on this page, there's a Moodle 101 tutorial for you. So check this out, especially if you're new to online learning or if you're new to Moodle. This will be very helpful for you in learning how to navigate Moodle and how to use Moodle. How do I check my grade? Where are things located? What do things look like? Which is a little different than what I see. So I can't always help you as well as this tutorial can. It is like, darn it, I'm not as good as a tutorial. So let's scroll back up. So what you're going to notice is that our course is divided into 5 modules. They're each 3 weeks long. So the first module is an introduction, and the first week is really an introduction into the class and the CAS program and some basic information. And then weeks 2 and 3 are really introductions into like what is substance use disorder, what are historical perspectives, looking at those things. Then we look at addiction from a biopsychosocial perspective. So module 2 is the biology of addiction. Module 3, the psychology of addiction, and module 4 is the social aspects of addiction. So we look at this really holistic view of all of the things that impact addiction and that are impacted by addiction. It goes both ways. Lastly, so we finish up our textbook after module 4, and then we do another module on ethics and professional competencies. So that'll be the final module of the class. So each of the modules are set up very similarly. So let's check out module 2, the biology of addiction. So right now, this isn't published to you. What you'll notice is that these modules become available as we move through the semester. Generally, they become available a week before the module actually starts. So you will want to look at the course timeline and to find out the due dates. And again, I'll do another video to go over that course timeline. So here is our overview. So like I said, so here's our overview of the module. So what we're doing in this module. And then we have module tasks, and they're broken down by weeks. So generally within each of these modules, like I said, they're 3 weeks. So the first week of the module, we are engaging in course content, and then we have I need to update this. We're engaging in course content, and then we are participating in a discussion forum. Week 5, the second week of the forum, same thing. We're engaging in course content and we're having a discussion forum. So, and then week 6, more content, another discussion, and then there's an exam. So that's how all of these modules are laid out. The first week generally there's content and there's content to engage in and a discussion forum. The second week, content, discussion forum, and third week, content, discussion forum, and exam that covers the whole module. There are some exceptions to that. I think Thanksgiving week, we don't have an assignment. We just have content to engage in. But that might be the only exception to, I think we have something to do every week because this is an online course. I have an assignment due every week so that you're engaging every week. It's really easy to go through an online course and really be disengaged. So hoping to build some engagement in that. So when I scroll down this page, you'll see week 4, we've got another Moodle book here. It's called week 4 content. There'll be a module 2 overview. So this is an overview of everything that's going on during our 3 weeks. Then there's a week 4 overview. This is everything that's going on just during week 4. Then we have our learning objectives for the week, the supplemental content for the week. So you'll have a textbook assignment and then also some additional content to engage in, and then next steps and assignments. So, and now that I've read this content, what do I do? Then here's the link for the discussion forum for week 4. Once that's complete, we'll move into week 5 and you'll see it's the same setup. So we have our week 5 Moodle book, an overview, learning objectives, content, next steps, and then we have our forum. Then week 6 is going to be just a smidge different in the fact that at the very end, there's an exam. So let's look at, so what does a Moodle book look like? So if I click on the chapter I want, so module 2 overview, this is where there's going to be an overview of, hey, what are we doing as we're looking at the biology of addiction in module 2? What does that mean? So we have some, a description of what we're doing. Then we have our week 4 overview. So this is really the week 4 overview. These are always really brief. Make your way through the content, review timeline, the course timeline, our learning objectives for the week. So these are the things that we're really going to be focusing on throughout the week. Next is content. So we're going to read, watch, and listen. So we are reading, we're in week 4 of the class. We're reading chapter 3 in our textbook. And then I've got some supplemental material posted here. So what does it mean when we call addiction a brain disorder? Here's a link for an interactive brain. That's pretty cool. You get to look at, click on different parts of the brain. It tells you what it's called, what it does. There's supplemental resources for the neurobiology of addiction. Check out chapter 2 of the Surgeon General's report. And then there's a couple of videos that support these topics. So they're posted here as well. So watch these. So after you make it through your content, you can click next. And this is where I will list out, okay, so now that you've gone through the content, what am I going to do? So after you make it through the Moodle book, you can go back to module 2. Scroll down the page. We're in week 4 for this demonstration. Scroll down and I'm going to click on the week 4 discussion forum. And then this is going to tell me what the assignment, this is going to have the assignment instructions. So there's always, I'll do another video. I keep wanting to go deep in this one and I'm just showing you how to navigate. So this is how you participate in the forums. And so you read through the instructions, you click here to post your discussion, and you can type your responses there. So that's, let me show you what the exam looks like when we are navigating through Moodle. So we're back in module 2. I'm going to scroll down all the way down to the bottom of week 6 because that's where the exam is. When I'm ready to take the exam, I click on it. I see the instructions for it. And then when it's open, there'll be a button here. The exam doesn't open till October 3rd. So when it's open, I've got to change it. When it's open, you'll have a button here that says that you can enter the exam. So I think that's really it for how to navigate the course. Again, I'll have videos on other topics to help us through this content. As always, as you'll learn in this class, I really want you to communicate if you have questions. So if you do have a question, head on over to our homepage, scroll down to this questions forum. You click on it, click add a new discussion, and post it there. I get an email that prompts me to say, hey, Katie, there's a question here. And I do my best to get back to you within a business day. So know that on weekends and evenings and holidays that responses get delayed. So if you have questions about like assignments, don't leave those till the last minute. So I also want to show you, there's a course dashboard right here. So this is how you'll check your grade. You'll want to click on the grade book, and or you can click open grader, and so that's where you will see the scores that you get for your assignments and any comments that I have on them as well. So all right, that's it. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks everybody.